Hey man, I just want to let you know that you are using Instagram all wrong, and this is information that I wish was bestowed upon me when I was much younger and much earlier on in my 20s. So, you're not using Instagram correctly, and you're probably thinking that I'm going to tell you that it's meant to be the world's best dating app, or that it's meant to be this or that. Here's the reality: is that there's a huge dynamic shift that you need to make in your mind to start using Instagram in the proper way. See, most guys are using Instagram as consumers, not creators. This was something that I discovered when I read the book called Millionaire Fastlane. And it was a paradigm shift that happened in my mind that applies to everything in your life. But specifically, let's talk about Instagram for a second here. Okay, so when you think about how you use Instagram, there's the consumer version and then there's the creator version. And if you think that this is going to be some, like hack, you've got it wrong. And wait till the end of this video. I'm going to show you exactly how you really should be using Instagram, and it's not what you think. It's not for dating. So if you're a regular guy, chances are you hop on Instagram, and worst case scenario, you're just going through and you're consuming Instagram Reels. That's like the lowest level of the way that you should be using Instagram. If you hop on and you're just doom scrolling, at the very least, I hope that you've trained your algorithm to be somewhat educational and be somewhat informational so that you're at least getting something from doing that. But you just got to understand that every time you log on and you're just watching reels, you're essentially giving away your time. You're being, your time is being sold, right? Like you're being, like somebody is profiting from you, whether it's the platform itself from your attention, or it's from the ads that you're clicking on, or it's the other influencers and creators that are persuading you to purchase their products and stuff like that. You're being sold. So that's the worst thing that you can do, is just hop on and start scrolling reels. Second worst thing that you can be doing to use Instagram is watching people's stories, right? Kind of almost like real life reality TV. You're tuning into other people's daily lives, you're watching what other people are doing, you're looking at where other people are going. Everybody that is in your city that trying to impress one another with where they've been and who they're with and what they're up to. That's the second worst thing you can do. The third worst thing you can do is be posting on your personal story 24/7, trying to show off your personal life to all the people you know. You're just trying to impress a bunch of people with, who you are and what you do and where you go. And it's just, your story, compared to the next person's story. Everybody that is just, on Instagram in your city, all trying to impress each other, all trying to like entertain each other, getting zero benefit. Like you're getting nothing from watching that story. You're getting nothing from somebody in your city seeing your story, right? Like, even if it's you're doing something cool, you're probably thinking about it from a dating perspective, right? Like you're on Instagram and you're trying to use it to, attract women. You're trying to use it to hustle to, like use it as a dating app. That's like the big revolutionary idea that coaches are pushing, is like, oh, Instagram isn't used for entertainment, it's used for dating. No, dude, you're still being sold. Like you're still in a consumer frame. The other thing that you could be, doing is posting a ton, just again, like on your personal page, because all that's doing for you is just trying to impress people, right? Like you're just trying to get attention from people in your city, and it's a big, popularity contest competition. But still, you're wasting your time. And how do I know all of this? Is this was me. I was the guy that would get on Instagram and I would look at reels and I would repost reels onto my story, and I would try to be funny for the people in my city. I'd post on my story, try to make it cooler than the last guy's story that I saw. I'd obsessively go through stories and try to see where people are at, what they're doing. And I'm telling you right now, like you're stuck in a consumer mindset, and your time is being sold. And so here's how you really want to use Instagram. Okay, every single guy that's watching this in 2026, everybody should have an Instagram account that nobody else knows about. And it should be a business purpose Instagram account. And you should be posting on this account. Specifically, you need to be posting Instagram Reels. There's no reason for every guy that's out here not to be taking the biggest opportunity in the entire world. Free Instagram platform, free business account off to the side that nobody else has to know about or hear about or see in your personal life. Where on this account, what you should be doing is you should be creating content. And it could be, for beginners, even just like a talking head reel. Start putting your ideas out there, talking into the camera. And then in the beginning, it might not be very good, but this does one of two things. Number one, it's going to start getting views and building up an account on the side. But the second thing that you don't realize is that when you start creating the content and you start talking into the camera, you start to see your flaws and you start to see your imperfections and you start to bump up against insecurities. And it's a huge self-improvement and self-development mechanism. So every guy, dude, because like the reality of the fact that you can just pull out your phone, talk into the camera, post on Instagram, and it can possibly start getting seen by a bunch of people that don't know you, and you can start building an audience, is a huge and massive opportunity, right? Like anybody can be doing this. And if you're doing it in private, then there's really nothing to risk or lose. You're posting for a bunch of strangers on the internet you're never going to see, you're never going to meet anyways. So there's literally no reason not to do this, right? And as far as time goes, again, you already spend time on Instagram, but you're spending it just consuming. So you got to get on the other side of it and start creating. Now, the next thing that I would recommend is possibly, aside from just a random account where you just talk about ideas or hobbies or interests, just, a kind of a theme page, there's a lot of things you could do, right? I've got a buddy named Parker Doyle who started up a side Instagram page and just started posting highlights for sports, just like taking clips and reposting them. Now he's got 1 million followers and he's making, 50 to 100K per month from that page alone. So what I recommend, like as a part of my program, is every guy should have a separate account that's completely faceless and completely nameless. Create a social club page or a social events page for your city. Like whatever city you're in, it's just a social page, right? And so when you start hosting parties and events like I suggest in my program, you can start interviewing people that are at these parties. You can start, just taking pictures and videos while you're, out socializing, and you can create text over video where you put quotes, and you just need to start posting. Okay, like why isn't every guy in the world not posting? Because here's what can happen. You may not see success in the first month or 2 months, but if you just make it a small habit, after 6 months to a year, if you do this, like on a consistent basis, you're gonna have 10,000 followers. Like you're just going to. It's an inevitability that if you have a separate account and you're just posting onto it somewhat frequently, and you're trying to at least somewhat improve each time you post, you're gonna have an account that has 10K followers by the end of 12 months. With that account, it's gonna do so much from a business networking perspective, so much from a dating perspective, so much from a status and an influence perspective. You can start monetizing it. You can start getting brand deals. You can start, promoting things. Like that's how you use Instagram. You use Instagram as a business, right? It's a creation platform. You've got to stop scrolling, watching reels. You've got to stop posting on your personal stories. You've got to stop trying to use it to, for dating. You need to create a separate account, and it needs to be for a business, and it may not even be a business that you've started, but you need to start talking and creating, because I'm telling you, like that's going to be the biggest difference maker with dating and with also your money situation as well. So hopefully that's helpful. That's how you use Instagram. Click the link that's below this video, because I've actually got an entire course that's going to walk you through some of these different viral reel frameworks. I've got a school community where, I can actually teach you some of these different tactics that I've used to post Instagram reels on an account that nobody knew about for years, until it started getting 1 million, 2 million, and then one video I got has 11 million views. And then all of a sudden everybody knew who I was, and I didn't even tell anybody about it. My videos just started popping up in their feed. So by the time you're successful is when people start to see it. So build it in silence, man. There's no reason not to. Hopefully that's helpful. Click the link below.